This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. How did Hulk Hogan come to be in terms of returning to face Randy Orton? Was this Hulk hoping to push his daughter Brooke's album? What's the angle here? Why is Hulkster looking to get back in the squared circle with you guys?
I think that Hulk was looking to come back in general. And also, during this time, it was Randy was a legend killer. Hulk was a perfect opponent for Randy. And you add into that his daughter Brooke, who was looking to start, doing her music and everything. Randy's that young, good-looking guy that any girl like Brooke's age, might find attractive and want to get to know better. And Brooke being an attractive young lady on her way up, and that may be somebody that Randy would be attracted to in storyline. So it was pretty easy. It was that forbidden love, and Daddy going, you're not going to do anything with that damn legend killer guy because I'm a legend. He could kill me. It's logic.
It's, listen, I like the legend killer thing, and I'm glad that Hulk came back, but I've just been fascinated forever by that sort of love, hate, on again, off again, hokey pokey style relationship that Vince and Hogan had together. I mean, just a year prior, he had the big match with Shawn at SummerSlam, which we've talked about in our archives. But of course, Shawn was doing his best to be, Shawn, but maybe Shawn of 97, 98, not exactly who we thought Shawn was in 05. But then he's gone. And I think most of the time when there was a falling out with Vince and Hogan, I've heard that it usually was money. Hogan felt like he was more valuable to the program and there was a disagreement over cash. Do you think that's the reason he maybe took a powder in 05 and maybe he is trying to push some of these outside projects in 06 and that's the motivation to take another stab?
Absolutely. And I think that's always the motivation with Hulk, because Hulk is always looking at it from a business standpoint and what he can do business wise, whether or not, creative, that always seemed to be an after fact with Hulk. Hulk was very involved in the creative and wanted to, talk about it and have input on it. But as far as disputes, they were almost always over money.
I'm curious, was there any hesitation to bring Hulk back? Does anybody on the WWF side of things, Vince or anyone else, say, God, do we really want to do this? We know how this is going to end. It's going to be short term. Or do you think, well, who cares? We can get a big match at SummerSlam and have him work with some younger talent. He didn't have to be a lifer. We still have value in Hulk Hogan.
There were probably those that rolled their eyes, but I don't think anybody that came up and said, no, God damn it, don't bring Hulk back. I think, even to the contrary, I think there were some guys who wanted to work with him.
Do you remember there being discussions with Hulk about the way things went with Shawn back in 05, or is it just water on the bridge by that point?
It's water under the bridge.
There's a bit. Let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com. The other thing we should mention is there's a Raw on August 7th in Memphis where we would see Jerry Lawler lose to Randy Orton in about 2 minutes with the RKO. We're really building up the whole legend killer, especially when you beat Jerry Lawler in Memphis. It's announced on the show that Hulk Hogan has a torn meniscus, and there's doubt that Hogan may make his SummerSlam match against Randy. Was this part of the storyline, or are you sort of hedging your bets in case Hulk pulls out?
No, Hulk was actually hurt. We didn't know whether or not he would actually be able to make it. So at that point, it was kind of like, okay, let's get him prepared.
And prepared they were. Umaga's going to pin Triple H to close the show. Then Vince delivers a pedigree of his own to Triple H. And we need to mention the next match is Hulk Hogan and Randy Orton. This is on third, which is pretty crazy when you think about it, that Hulk Hogan is in the third match. He gets a huge reaction. Meltzer would say he didn't move much, but he usually doesn't. Orton had to come back and hit the RKO, and the ref counted.
You know
3.
why he doesn't?
He didn't have to.
Doesn't have to. Is right.
So Orton hits the RKO. The ref counts 3, but Hogan has his foot on the ropes. Hogan makes his usual comeback with the 3 punches, the boot to the face, and the leg drop. He plays to the crowd for a long time after the leg drop before getting the pin. 2.25 stars. And it's crazy to think this is Hulk Hogan's last ever match in a WWE ring. I mean, I'm glad it's at SummerSlam. I'm glad he got a big win, but I don't know that I would have guessed that would be the answer to a trivia question. Randy Orton at SummerSlam in 06 as his last one.
You know, first of all, as we discussed before, nobody kicks out of the leg drop.
Well established.
Okay. So Randy didn't kick out of that damn leg drop. Hulk beat his ass because it's Hulk Hogan, goddammit. So, but, you know, also at the same time, I think, you know, the back issues and all the other issues that Hulk had between his knee, his back, and everything else, it was time for him to be out of the ring. And if you were to ask Hulk today, I think Hulk would tell you, I still got one more in me, brother. And in his head, he does. I just wouldn't for his health. I don't want to see that, man. I want to remember Hulk Hogan as Hulk Hogan and the way he was, and for him to come back and do some nostalgia stuff and be Hulk today, always entertaining, always great. I just, man, he's Hulk Hogan. You don't want to see Hulk Hogan, you know, gimping around the ring. I don't want to see that. I want to see my guy.
Right.
So I'm glad it was his last match, at least in WWE. He would go on to have more elsewhere, but I don't think that was the best thing for his just longevity and for his body in general.
How excited was Randy to be working with Hulk? I mean, you go back and you look at just their family history. The main event of that very first WrestleMania, Randy's dad is there standing across the ring from Hulk Hogan. And now here we are, one of the biggest events of the year, SummerSlam, and Randy Orton finds himself standing across from Hulk Hogan. It's pretty cool. It is
real cool. I mean, and I think that Randy enjoyed that, and it wasn't lost on Randy. Randy looked at this as a hell of an opportunity and a opportunity to work with somebody that his dad did, and biggest name in the business.
It's super cool to just have that context. Orton has no issues with this. I'm sure, you know, he's getting to work with the biggest star and the guy who worked with his dad and blah, blah, blah. But there's a story that's come out. Marty Elias was the referee, that Hogan was adamant about doing this whole foot on the rope false finish concept. And, I don't know. I found that interesting that Hogan wanted to have that little thing in the match. And I really like that he still got to pose with the fans. But do you think there was any quote unquote heat about him doing all the hot dogging before the pin as opposed to after?
No, I don't. Cause that's Hulk Hogan. You know what you get when you book it.
In hindsight, do you wish you would have had Hulk Hogan participate in the whole legend killer thing and Randy got him too, like he did so many others?
Yeah, I do. And I think, you know, to a point, some people will say Randy did get him, but, yes, I do. I wish we could have had him for more.
I do want to bring up the match itself. Got 2.25 stars. Hogan's on third. I don't know. It just feels a little weird that he's on third and the Meltzer didn't totally shit on it. But what a cool moment it is to be a footnote in history for Randy Orton that, hey, I got Hulk Hogan's last match here. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.